it's been a month or so since we last chatted, but obviously, yeah, you're back in the ring on October 11th, I believe. Yeah, I mean, obviously, how excited are you to get back in the ring now?
Yeah, I am now, mate. I'm buzzing. Obviously, two big fights. Learned so much from it. Stayed in the gym since then, and been working on a lot of stuff. Took that experience away, taking it into sparring and everything. And I'm feeling good in training, feeling good in sparring. Feel like I've improved so much in such a short space of time. This year I feel like I've improved so much. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back out October the 11th and yeah, showing everyone an improved version of myself.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And is this a case of kind of trying to get back to winning ways a little bit, kind of maybe away from, I guess, temporarily away from the spotlight a little bit and to get back to winning ways? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, exactly that, mate. Yeah, that's the plan, for October. Back to winning ways, being the home fighter, and just improving again and working on the things that we need to work on, and then we'll be ready to go again in the big fights.
Like you said, you had two very big fights there, yeah, two amazing experiences for yourself, twice on DAZN, live on DAZN, which was incredible. Out of curiosity, were there any offers to jump into another big fight after the Fiaz fight? Were there any offers like that?
I haven't heard anything. No, I haven't. Nothing's like been brought to my attention off my manager. But like we do know that the plan is the plan from the start. But I mean, the plan before the Fiaz fight was going to be like what I'm doing now on the 11th of October. Not the Fiaz fight, sorry, the Majid fight. Like after the Majid fight, the plan was to have like an 8 round tick over, be the home fighter, get back to winning ways. Which is obviously what I'm doing now. And
Mhm.
then the Fias fight came about with 12 days notice. So instead of that, we took the Fias fight. So now we're going again back to let's have an 8 round tick over, back to winning ways, and then go again. So whether anything has come up, to him, has been presented to him, but he's not interested because this is, what we're focused on now. Get the confidence back and, like I would keep saying, yeah, back to winning ways. So, yeah, I haven't been told about any like big fights. You haven't turned anything down anyway, as far as I'm aware.
Mhm, mhm. So obviously it's been a couple months now since the Fiaz fight. Yeah, another great fight to be fair. I mean, I think at the time, if I remember correctly on social media, you said that you thought you'd done enough to win the fight. Now that a couple months has passed, how you kind of reflected on it? What's your reflection on that fight now?
Yeah, mate, I still believe that. I still believe I won the fight. I thought like the first 4 rounds were a shutout. I thought I boxed very well. Kept it long and frustrated him. Couldn't really get near him. He couldn't really get near me. And then obviously the 12 days notice started showing a little bit. I started losing my shape midway through. Fatigue started kicking in. And that's when he come into the fight. And I admit it is a close fight. It was a close fight, but I've watched it twice. I don't want to watch it again because it frustrates me. The 2 times I've watched it, it frustrates me. The scoring that frustrates me. The scorecards. But both times, I scored it when I watched it, and both times I scored it 6-4 to me. So
Mhm.
yeah, personally, I don't see how I lost that fight, but um, there's nothing I can do about it now. No point crying over it. I honestly I don't believe as well that's just me being biased. Like, because me, I think I said it to you after the Majid fight. I'm the first to admit I thought I lost the fight. I
Mhm.
thought Majid nicked it by a round or two. But I just think the Fiaz fight was different. I thought I won the fight. And it's just a shame that I didn't get the decision. But I feel like I'm still happy. No regrets whatsoever. I'm
Mhm.
still happy that I was able to step up and perform like that on 12 days notice. So, I'd love a rematch with a full camp, 6 8 weeks or whatever they give me. If I could get that, I'd take it, but can't see him jumping at that.
Was that fight almost like a bit of like a I think because I think I mentioned it to you in our first in this interview before that. was that kind of a harsh reality of like what it's like to be kind of the B sides and things like this can
Yeah.
happen? I think I did say that to you, like, if it's close, Fiaz is signed to, to Matchroom and stuff.
Yeah.
So was that kind of, I guess, it's a bit of a blessing in some ways, next time you're in that kind of situation that you're gonna do have to do even maybe even more to get
Yeah.
the decision. Is that fair to say?
Okay. Yeah, no, definitely. I've experienced it sort of twice now, two close fights, and against two fighters who are signed with big promoters. And I just feel like, yeah, close fight like that, I feel like they're always going to get the nod, but it's an uphill battle, isn't it? So it's down to me to going forwards now to not make it close. And yeah, that's I suppose all I can do moving forward because there's nothing else you can do. I'm not signed with any promotions, so really my only chance is to get on them shows and fight their fighters. So um, if that's the path that I have to go down, then so be it. I'm just gonna have to improve, and just make it more like evident, more obvious that I've won the fight. So that's the only way I can go about it, I think, going forwards.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And despite, on your record, obviously it's two losses in a row, but I think we've touched on this before as well. I think before the Majid fight, you'd heard whispers that people thought you were going to get knocked out in a couple rounds, and against Fiaz again, you were the underdog. And so really, both times you were the clear underdog, and both times it was two very close fights. So do you feel like your stock has really risen, and I guess you've proven a lot of people wrong.
Yeah, definitely. Again, it's done. I feel like although it's another loss, it's done me no harm. They aren't bad losses. Yeah, like I've especially with the situation, the circumstances of it, like 12 days I've stepped in because although like I was and I admit, I was staying in the gym, staying fit, I was staying sparring and staying sharp, but there is a difference to being in the gym, ticking over like what I was doing, to having a 6 8 week camp and mentally focusing on a big fight like that. So to just step in and be able to do that performance on 12 days notice, I think it has my stock has risen from it again. Um, so I think now, the last two fights, they've put my name out there. Now I need to rebuild, and just sort of run with it now and get back, yeah, get a win, and then just go from there. But it's good that my name's out there now, and my name's in the mouth of the right people, I suppose, and yeah, we just got to see where we go now.
And does it feel almost a little bit kind of like we always hear about undefeated records and stuff like that. Do you feel like a little bit a bit like kind of liberated a little bit that you haven't got that O to kind of protect anymore? You got a couple losses now. It's not the end of the world. You still. How does that feel that you've kind of you haven't got the O anymore? But yeah, is it kind of
Yeah.
liberating not having that O?
Yeah, like and honestly, it doesn't bother me. It really doesn't, and it just shows that I'm not afraid to take big fights. Like I'm in the sport to be involved in big fights, exciting fights, and I'm not scared of going into fights where I'm the underdog, So and I'll take more risks going forwards. I'll no doubt, mate, I'm going to be in more fights moving forwards where everyone will write me off again. And eventually, obviously, the last two haven't gone in my favor, but eventually, I'm going to get these fights where people will write me off, and I'm going to turn them over, and I'm going to win, and that's them. It's going to catapult my career. And eventually, mate, I'll be the A side, and it'll be me, yeah, with all the power and everything. So yeah, I'm looking forward to when the time comes. But yeah, no, unbeaten records. I suppose they're impressive, but are they really? Because it's like, well, who've you fought, really? So yeah, I'm not bothered about that. And like I say, I've got nothing to protect now. I'm happy to go into risky fights and just see what I'm all about.
Mhm, mhm. And obviously fighting on the zone twice in a row. I mean, it's quite a contrast from the small shows, isn't it? To go to two shows in a row where you're literally live on a massive platform like uh the zone. Like what's your reflections on that? Just kind of yeah, basically fighting live twice in a row and being exposed to so many more viewers.
Yeah, class. It's it's exciting to be honest. Yeah, I mean, like my name's out there and a lot more people know who I am. And obviously, you get the downfalls of that, like the stick that you get on social media. But to be honest, like I remember like scrolling through Twitter after the Fiaz fight and the amount of people who agreed with me and thought I should have won that fight. Like it was all I saw really. So it's just it's good. It's good to be on them platforms because you feel important. Like you feel like people care about your career. Yeah, and you're not just. I feel like sometimes the small hall shows, like coming through these small hall shows, it's just your family and your friends. They just coming to support you. Yeah, now we get onto these shows and like live on their own, people are tuning in because like they're actual fans. They like your style. They like to watch your box and um, like I'm very grateful to be in that position where people want to see me box. I've got to like, when I reflect on my career and I reflect on my time, I was just when I started boxing, I was just an 8-year-old kid. I had no interest in turning pro or anything like that. So, it sort of shows how far I've come with it all. So yeah, no, it's good. And and no doubt I'll be on more shows live on the zone. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's been.
What would you say what's the biggest lesson you reckon you took from those two fights against Majid and Fiaz? Like I guess it could be boxing wise or even just generally. Like what would you say the biggest lesson is from those two fights?
Um, More so just I think experience and tactics, play a massive part in it. Because it's funny, I remember like after the Majid fight, we watched it back, and we thought he was clever there. He nicked a lot of the rounds in the last 10 seconds, and then like we thought, right, well, going into the Fiaz fight, I'm gonna nick the last 10 seconds, and I'm gonna let my hands go and everything like that. And then when we reflect back on the Fiaz fight and we watch it back, it probably wasn't the right tactic, probably weren't the right thing to do because um, every time the last 10-second bell went in the Fiaz fight, I'd let my hands go, but I was coming in close and it was letting him catch me more. Whereas for the full round, I would have been staying long, boxing well, boxing mint. 10 seconds coming and I come in close, which is where he wanted me. So, think back to it and it weren't the best tactic to implement because Fiaz was a different fighter to Majid. So, but like we learn from that now, like moving forwards, and again, that's just experience. So, little things like that we pick up, moving forwards, we remember it, and yeah, and little things like that. Like I say, I've learned loads from them two fights. Probably learned more from them two than I have done with 13 wins. So, yeah, it's good that I'm learning, and I'm gonna keep learning as well as the career goes on. You never stop learning, do you, in this sport? So, I'm looking forward, to learn more stuff.
Absolutely. And finally, what's the goals for the rest of the year? Obviously, you're back in October. Could we see you out again one more time before the end of the year? Yeah,
Maybe,
what's the goals for the
maybe.
rest of the year, basically?
Yeah, maybe. Obviously we've got the October one, and I think just see what big fights there is out there. Maybe if something comes up in December, we'll look at it. If not, then it'll be the start of the year. But I think the plan is, get this 8 rounder in now, and then yeah, just see what the good fights are, and just go from there. Get back on the live shows, get back in big fights, and put on more exciting fights. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, possibly December, mate. If not, then it'll probably be the new year.
Fair enough. Well, Alex, I look forward to your next fight. And as always, thank you for giving some of your time. And yeah, let's see where the journey goes next.